New York City's new mayor has only been on the job for a few days now, but already he is facing off with the city's largest teachers union in the nation's biggest school system over a return to the classroom as the Omicron variant keeps spreading. The teachers union is pushing to move to remote learning. Mayor Eric Adams is joining us now to address those concerns. Sir, thank you for being with us this morning as you are getting settled on the job. And I know you are keeping schools open. This, of course, is against the wishes of the teachers through the union. At what point would you consider it unsafe to keep schools open?
Thank you. It's great to be here. But I think it's imperative to just go back for one moment. We are not in a battle with the teachers union. I've stated over and over again, interview after interview, Michael Mulgrew and I have been coordinating to allow a safe space for our children. Because we have a difference of opinion on one issue, we cannot feed into hysteria. This is traumatizing our children. The way adults are responding to COVID is having a negative impact on our children. We are lockstep. We mobilized together to get over 1 million test kits to every school. I speak to Michael Mulgrew 3 times a day. If you speak with him, he'll tell you and anyone that Eric Adams and I are moving together to create a safe environment for our children. The numbers right now state, and it's very clear, the safest place for children right now is in a school building. That's the safest place for them. If they're not in school, it does not mean they're not going outdoors. It does not mean they're not going to deal with the trauma of not having socialization, not getting a meal, not being able to get remote learning. It's a luxury to say stay at home when you have all the tools that you needed. But for poor, Black, brown children that you don't have access to some of the basic things, school is the best place for you. And I'm going to continue to have my children be in a safe environment that all science is saying is the best place for them.
Okay, so a couple things there. But first, you said you disagree on one thing. I mean, in fairness, it is the thing right now. It is the thing. It is not just one thing. This is a big area of disagreement that you have, and it can't really be, I think, dismissed.
Yes, it can. I have to totally respectfully disagree with you. This is not the thing. Michael shared his opinion, and he respects my opinion, and I respect his. The thing in the country, in the city right now, that adults must stop traumatizing children. We must stop giving the appearance that there's hysteria among those who are making the decision. Michael Mulgrew and I are on the same page that we need to create a safe environment. He understands that poor Black and brown children that are homeless, over 100,000 in the city, did not have access to high-speed broadband. He understands that hundreds of thousands of children don't have food at home to eat. The stabilizing diet from them comes from school. He understands the increase in attempted suicides when we closed down our schools before. So this is not the thing. The thing is that this continuation of creating hysteria that doesn't exist. There's no battle between Michael Mulgrew and Eric Adams. We are fighting together to create a safe environment for our children. And I'm not going to submit to people believing that there's a conflict between the two of us when we speak 3 times a day. We've been doing an amazing job of coordination.
Look, you can speak 3 times a day and still have a disagreement, and this is a key one, certainly. But just to go back to my initial question, which is there, so it sounds like what you're saying, but correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. There's no circumstance where you would consider it unsafe to keep schools open.
No, that's not true at all.
Okay, what's your threshold, or even just if you can kind of qualitatively describe where you would consider, hey, this might be a different direction we need to go here?
No, not at all. Listen, coronavirus, COVID is a formidable opponent that pivots and shifts. I'm going to do that. Every day I sit down with my medical professionals. They give me smart advice based on facts, not fear. And I make the smart decisions based on that. And right now, my medical professional states that children that are at home are exposed to a 15% likeliness to be exposed. When they are in school, we had less than 1% a year ago. So as long as I have smart, talented, compassionate medical professionals that's giving me good advice, I'm going to follow that advice. And then when it is necessary to shift, they will tell me when to do so. That is
Okay.
how we're going to fight COVID.
So I know, as you say, you're basing this on facts, not fear. A fact is that pediatric hospitalizations are at a record high. They've never been higher during the pandemic, even as overall, generally speaking, hospitalizations are not at a record. So we're seeing a lot of kids hospitalized. What do you say to parents who are concerned?
I say to them, parents, and I'm going to be clear to you, parents, because I am a parent. I have a son, and I know the anxiety that's associated with this. I'm saying to them, your children are safer in school than any other place based on the facts. Now, if you take a child out of school, they're not staying home. They're not staying indoors. They're in the streets probably with no mask on, no social distancing, not receiving the food, the nurturing, the care. And that's what we must look at. And so, yes, we see an increase. We see the exposure and how quickly this strand is exposing us. But let's share something. Let's be clear. Strand after strand, we can't continue to stop our children from developing socially and academically and the support that they need. So we have to learn how to live with COVID and live with COVID with a safe way. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to allow the hysteria to prevent the future of my children receiving the quality education and the development that all sociologists are stating that they needed. And I'm going to be focused on that because I know that our children must be in school.
Yeah, I mean, look, there is no question that children have borne such a, the brunt really of the pandemic, and this interruption to their schooling and to the network that they get through that has just been considerable and debilitating. I do want to ask you about businesses in your city that are taking precautions. Some are telling employees, delay your return to the office. This includes some of the big banks. What's your response to that?
We have to open up. I know what we're going through, and I know how hard it is. I was on the ground when COVID hit this city, and I watched the morgues outside of hospitals. I watched family members dropping their loved ones off, never to see them again. I know what we're going through. But what we must understand is that the resiliency of returning back to a normal life, if we don't open our cities, we have almost 1 million people who are behind in their rents right here in this city. We have low-skilled employees who can't do remote employment from home or telecommuting. That's not a reality in a city like New York and across America. I need my cities to open. And we have to be safe. We have to double down on vaccinations and booster shots. We have to double down on testing, but we have to reshape our thinking of how do we live with COVID. We spent $11 trillion on COVID. We don't have another $11 trillion. Every variant can't be another $11 trillion. It's time to open up and feed our ecosystem, our financial ecosystem. And that's what I'm saying to my employees.
Yeah, look, we have major protections here, vaccines, not available to everyone who wants them, right? Including some children, which is why this discussion in particular about schools is so important. And I appreciate you coming on, Mayor, to talk about it.
Thank you very much.